another episode.
Okay, wow, we decided to do our next on location episode at beautiful Steamwhistle Brewery, Queensquay and Reed Street, right downtown. So what we're drinking here, and what I would recommend everybody drink when they are at this tap room, is the unfiltered Steamwhistle.
Unfiltered Pilsner.
This is Steamwhistle's unfiltered Pilsner.
You can get filtered Pilsner everywhere in bottles and cans at all of your
And draft.
all of your places, but on location they serve unfiltered.
This is the only place you can get unfiltered Pilsner.
Yeah,
And
delicious.
it's so good. For anybody who likes Pilsners, Pilsner is a type of lager. It's definitely always more hoppy.
Yeah.
There's more hops added at the beginning stages of the boiling process to make it a little bit more bitter. There's more hops added at the end to get a little bit more flavor and aroma.
Yeah.
It's just a more hop-focused
Forward
beer.
lager.
Yeah.
Pilsner.
Exactly.
We call it Pilsner.
A little bit darker than what you would.
Light
a German
Pilsner?
Pilsner's a little bit lighter. Czech Pilsner's a little bit more dark. It definitely incorporates some darker malts. Definitely sauce. A lot of sauce in here.
Sauce hops.
Yeah.
And then like classic lager yeast.
Czech Pilsner
Yeah.
yeast. Yeah.
And that's kind of where this is leaning too.
Yeah.
So yeah, beautiful facility.
Amazing,
Great.
yeah.
Pop in place. We got a Jays game today.
It's been around since 2003, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple years.
A long time. One of my favorite memories of this tap room and brewery, they used to brew here. They don't really brew that much anymore. Main production facilities in Etobicoke. But I can remember living here just across the street at 350 Queensquay, great condo building. They used to do these little 4-ounce plastic samples, and they would just keep filling them up a little bit. So you come here before a Jays game, and they would be filling these sample cups up and sliding them to the end of the bar. So you come in, you have a little taste, and then you would decide whether or not you wanted to get a beer when you got up to the line. But if you were cheap enough, which I was at the time, rent wasn't that cheap over here, still not that cheap.
Yep.
I would come in, have a couple samples, then come back to the back of the line, come back in, have a couple samples. I could have a full pint and a half before somebody was like, so do you want a pint? Then finally you're like, okay, fine, I'll get a pint. It was always so busy in here, nobody ever noticed. You could have like 3 or 4 pints for free if you really wanted to.
Samples for days.
Long time ago. So anyways, good times, great beer, great people. Obviously, shout out to Andy Mack. He works here.
I believe they're called the Good Beer Folks.
And Kieran.
Hi, Kieran.
Yeah, great spot. Love it. Cheers.
Hey, we're out on the patio now, a little quieter.
Yeah, this is a really nice spot. Obviously, inside's really great, but it's busy, especially before a Jays game.
Yep.
People are still, like, the game is starting in 10 minutes. People are still, like, there with full beers in Jays gear.
I don't think it's a pressing priority to get into the game immediately.
162 games. Does games 38 really matter?
No.
I guess in the long run it does. I know, being a sportsman, I know every game does matter to a certain extent, but when there's like twice as many games as the hockey season.
But yeah, it was crazy. We did this thing early afternoon today, and it's busy everywhere down here.
It's busy everywhere, yeah.
So it's really cool. We have like breweries downtown like this, Amsterdam, Steamwhistle.
So close.
Every side, eventually.
Every side.
We're all in the thick of it.
Beautiful.
And it's a good area. A lot of entertainment around here, a lot of tourism.
I mean, the aquarium's right there. Convention Center's right there. Union Station's right there. CN Tower's right here. Rogers Center's right here.
Yeah, everything's right here.
And Scotiabank Arena's right there, Leafs. Everything's right here.
A historical train yard.
Yep.
For those history buffs out there.
There
is a big historical
Toronto
train yard
Railway
because
Museum. Yeah.
So Steamwhistle used to be, the building was the old rail connection yard.
So they call this the roundhouse because trains could only turn around by driving in here and being on this circle that could turn them back east to west. So they could come from the west to the east, load up, and then do a 180 and go back west. I think this became vacant in '96.
So yeah, we're down here, Roundhouse Park. So the Steamwhistle guys took it over in 2000. Originally, they were from Upper Canada Brewing, which is now Sleeman. They coined it Three Fired Guys at the start, and then evolved it into the name, and obviously the perfect marketing opportunity of what this place is. Steamwhistle, a call for beer.
And if you've ever done the tour, I've done the tour numerous times, way back in the day. And I don't know if they still do this, but you can. And this was back when they were still brewing here at this location. You would do the tour, then midway through the tour, they would, and they do have a real steam whistle in there.
Sounds like it's beer o'clock.
And
Yeah.
like you pull it, you see the steam,
Yeah.
coming from the top of it.
Didn't
But-
everybody had to drink if you went up and pulled it? Because I
On the
remember my
tour,
first
on the
time.
tour, if you had beers, because you could request to do the tour with no beers. But if you had beers on the tour, you did have to drink. But the funny thing about doing the steam whistle on the tour was the people were still working, and that steam whistle used to also signify like breaks and lunches.
Yeah.
So every time you would pull it, everyone would look around and be like, "Oh, it's just a tour," and they didn't know if it was a tour, if they had a break, or if they had lunch, and they would just stop at the bottom line and just be like, "What? Oh, it's just a tour." It's okay.
It'd be cool if it was just time to take a break.
It'd be way cooler if it was. Yeah.
It'd be way cool if it was. Do you guys have any recommendations of where we should go next? Definitely comment on that.
We don't always go to just breweries.
Go to a bar.
Well, we can go to a bar.
Yeah.
So don't think that we're not going to go to a bar.
Yep.
But if you want us to, if you have a favorite bar in the area of, I'm going to just put it out there. If you have a favorite bar and or brewery or craft beer bar, whatever you want,
Yep.
as long as they serve craft beer, I consider that just as good as a brewery because we're still supporting breweries.
Yep.
If anybody has any recommendations, no further east than DVP, no further west than Jameson, and then no further north than St. Clair. Just, that's a big rectangle. Give us any recommendations you have. That's a pretty good area, right?
Let's trim the fat and go to Bloor.
Yeah. Okay, Bloor. Although we will be at True History very soon.
One day.
I love those guys.
One day.
And we're back. And we're back. We have managed to come inside after the Jays crowd has since gone to the game.
And we got a delicious bottled Steamwhistle Pilsner.
Yeah.
And look at they are.
Look at that.
They actually are different.
They are different bottles.
They're
Absolutely.
different
There you go.
You got this classic, this new modern.
If anybody does the Steam Whistle tour, you might get to know this more in detail. Steam Whistle bottles are obviously very singular to Steam Whistle Brewery. No other brewery is going to use these bottles. Whereas, if you remove the labels from a Labatt 50, a Molson Canadian, a Coors Light, they all use the exact same 341 milliliter bottles. So they're just classic brown bottles. And any beer can be put in those if they're deemed to be still in good condition. Steam Whistle reuses their bottles and they have little ticks at the bottom. This has been reused twice. This is the third time, I think.
Yeah,
Well,
this-
these
like-
ones, I think this right here. Boom,
Yeah, and then
boom, boom.
this one right here,
Yeah.
there's like 4 in there, whereas Trevor has like
Yeah, I
2 or
have
3, so he's got a
newer bottle.
maybe a newer bottle, but
think
with
so, yeah,
the
yeah.
old school.
I think this
label.
is the older bottle because the good beer, folks.
That's always been on it.
Yeah, but you don't have that.
Yeah,
So you have an older
I
bottle,
think I think I have the newer
Oh,
bottle.
you might have a newer bottle.
I have
Yes.
a newer bottle
Okay.
because the old logo, if you look at this,
Yeah. Okay.
the old logo has all of the, like right downtown where we're sitting, and some of that information. Yeah, Roundhouse right on there.
Yeah.
This little more generic. Just the bottle, the Steamwhistle logo, and then it's like the story on the back with the Roundhouse on there. A unique thing. I came here along. Hold on. Let's get real here.
Let's get real. Yeah. Let's get into it.
Oh, out of a bottle.
Oh,
Just delicious.
so goddamn good.
So good.
So good. And a little thing about how they serve you the bottles. It's the only place that I can think of right now off the top of my head to serve you the bottles out of an ice chest. All the beers
Oh,
are in an
bottles
ice.
and ice.
It's like a cooler.
Yeah,
it's like you're
beautiful.
camping, but you're, in the downtown Toronto. Anyway.
Wonderful. I came here a long time ago, probably like
I moved out to Calgary, I think it was like 2003 or 4, somewhere around there. Me and my dad came up here, me flying out. This place just opened, and there was nothing out there. You guys will see there's all they've recreated a historical train yard out in front of Steamwhistle, which is wonderful. All the old trains that service the area, really cool. There was nothing out there before. There's just a little moat on the one side, and they had Steamwhistle, the one thing they do really, really well. Only Steamwhistle on draft, filtered and unfiltered. Things have changed over the years, and there's a few more additions in the Steamwhistle family, which is great. However, it was, like you were saying earlier, it was endless samples because they were just trying to push the product and get it out there. So we did a tour, and the bottle, when they were digging the foundation up, trying to find the space, they found this bottle in the dirt, and they were like, this old green bottle, and they're like, that's the bottle that we're using for Steamwhistle.
Didn't know that.
So you guys can come here and you can check it out for yourself.
Didn't know that.
And then another great thing that they added, obviously that was just an old bottle. They've since had it done for themselves.
Yes.
And they've added a few things. Trevor mentioned ticks on the glass for the amount of uses that it's had. And then another valuable thing is right here, there's a 3FG.
I love
and
that.
That's for 3-fired guys. So that's where they created the owners came from Upper Canada, which then turned to Sleeman's, and they all got fired for whatever reason, probably get bought out.
Downsizing, yeah.
They're downsizing. They created this wonderful brewery in downtown Toronto. Fantastic.
And I really love, especially back in those days of like 2000, the dog days of craft beer, where there was like nobody ever said craft beer.
No.
It was always just beer.
Just beer.
All beer was just beer. But then Steamwhistle came along and it was like, oh, there's something.
Just like that?
We're like, okay, there's something different about this compared to like a Molson Canadian or a Labatt Blue. Whether you liked it or you didn't like it was irrelevant because it was just really good.
Yeah. It's a great Pilsner.
Yeah. And if you didn't like it, a lot of people are, oh, I buy Labatt Blue exclusively, I buy this exclusively. Regardless, it's still around in 2025 for one very simple reason. The good beer. And it was a very good beer back in those early days when craft beer was nothing. Pilsner as well, which is one of those styles that some people will say, oh, it's a little funky, it's a little skunky. That's the hops, everyone, the hops.
Oh, I heard they recently decided to add more hops to it.
There's an abundance of saws in here, and it's in a green bottle, so it's not completely devoid of light.
Nope.
But it's not a clear bottle where it lets a lot of light in. It's not skunky, it is just the hops that they use in the brewing process.
Yeah.
Please stop saying skunky. That is not a term to describe craft beer.
It's fake news.
Fake news. Settle down.
Me and Gary came here. He's taking me to the airport to move out to Cowtown. Came down here. We had a little rip downtown Toronto before I left.
Nice.
And we came here. We did the tour, and like I said, we hung out here at Steamwhistle. They used to have a photo booth. So the photo booth, it was one of the classic put a toonie in or put a couple loonies or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I think this one was you put in like $10 and you got a pint of beer, and you went in, you got the 4 pictures. The first picture was you with the pint, and then the last picture out of the 4 was supposed to be you with the empty pint.
Yes, nice.
So you had that 4 shots to chug a pint.
Never did it, but I did see it a lot of times.
We gave it a go.
Yeah.
I think we got pretty messy.
Nice.
We also had a really great afternoon. I was very close to missing the airplane, but I made it.
Luckily, you're with your pops. He's not going to let you miss the airplane.
We had a great day. I got into line. I believe it was WestJet, and that's the early days as well.
Oh, yeah.
I was in line with Alexis on Fire. They were going to play a show in Calgary. I was in line. I'm like, you guys are awesome. They gave me a pass to the show, so I landed in Calgary, went to Alexis on Fire show.
Sick.
Very cool.
My boys, shout out Dallas. What up, gangsters?
What's up, Alexis on Fire? Yeah, and it's great to see what that was back then to what it is now.
Oh, yeah.
So Steamwhistle, it's a tourist destination, and it's great.
It's huge, yeah. And one of the first times I ever did the tour, I did something stupid. So the tour guide, they give you these little samples to pass around. They have a jar full of malt, Pilsner malt, and you can chomp on it. And then they pass around the hops. And the tour guide's like, only if you're feeling brave should you chew on these hops. Yeah, I'm brave. Okay,
Worst thing
here you
you've ever
go.
done in your life.
Here you go. This is sauce. Took a chomp of those hops. So bitter and just like the taste stayed in my mouth for hours. And he was like, "So I love when we have a brave person on a tour because you should not do that. That does not taste very good."
Don't do that.
And I was stupid, but it was fun. It's fun, you know. It's a memory. And back in those days, you could book a tour, and you chose your package. You could have just a tour and no beer, or you could do the 6-pack tour, where you just walk around the 6-pack and you can open it wherever you want.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
It's great. And it was, if you guys come here, it's massive now. Like, they took over the whole entire Roundhouse Center, basically.
Yep.
It used to just be this small portion where they brewed in, and they had like the tap room, but now
They own it all now.
They own it all now. Maximum facility, kitchen in here, like they do the whole thing. Massive events.
Yeah, and it's worthwhile to mention that we're in the tap room area, where this is where you go to pregame for the Jays. You can have your unfiltered Pilsner. They also own Bose now, I think, or Bose. They're partners,
yeah.
Whatever they are.
Part of whatever.
Bose and Steamwhistle are one. You can get pints of Bose here as well. Lug Tread, other Bose products.
Juice, IPA, whatever their IPA is. So they have options now. They don't just do one thing really well.
Yeah.
They're part of people that do other things really well.
And if the tap room's not your vibe and you want some real food, they have an amazing restaurant just west of the tap room here, and it's their Steamwhistle Beer Garden. And in summer, they have an amazing patio. The inside of the restaurant's really nice as well. And there you can get steins. You can get like a 40-ounce stein of beer.
That's how you get the job done.
And if you just want to have one quick beer and go to the Jays game, just get a stein and pay the bill right away. You can walk. You can go to the game whenever you want. They also have a really good food menu. Their poutine, unreadily amazing. Yeah.
Is it open?
It's open now, yeah. Sure. Want to go there?
You want a big boy?
You want to do a stein?
You want to do big boy?
I know, bitch.
I ain't no bitch. I ain't no bitch.
What?
Love it. They used to have a chain.
Yeah.
I think it's if you bought a round too, you used to be able to pull the chain, and they had a full steam whistle up front there. Like hooked up to the fire suppression system. Just set off the sprinklers on everybody.
Anyways.
Those are for you.
Oh, shit.
These are for us right now.
Oh, nice. Okay. How do we open them?
Well, Trev,
Well, Jamie,
another great one.
it's been a great day.
Great day.
Like, holy
Great day.
crap.
Here we were at
We hit Steamwhistle, and we hit it really hard.
and we got a chase win.
We got a Jays win 8-1, I think? 9-1.
Big one.
9-1.
There we go.
Great. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Wow.
Thank you for always joining us on our adventures. We really appreciate it. It's a party down here. Ever get down to Steamwhistle, hang out for the day, come for the Jays game?
Absolutely. CN Tower's right here. So now that we have the bottles that we bought in a 6-pack, they're both the brand that you had earlier when we had them in the tap room.
Modern bottles.
So I think we can confirm now that you were right. These are the newer bottles.
They are modern bottles.
100%,
And
yes.
you had a nice classic.
I had a classic, which is kind of cool.
That's super
I
cool.
love that.
It's great that we had that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
You guys will also see that the only place to get Steamwhistle unfiltered in a 40-ounce stein is at the Steamwhistle
over there.
Beer Garden. You'll see that. And we had that.
There's a little more to it than the old average
A
Steam.
little more to it than the tap room. Yeah, good food, good beer.
Good beer, folks.
They look good?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
it's a great view.